Darby.
94.9.
Z-Rock.
How are you doing?
Hey, Rob, how are you, man?
I'm doing good today, thank you. What's going on up in Salt Lake this afternoon?
It's a pretty good day in Salt Lake City. I didn't think you would call. I thought you'd have a guy who calls for you, and then...
No, I can't stand that, no. They give me a list and give me my headset.
That's awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
I always do this myself. I'm calling you from our company apartment in San Diego, so it's just me and my headset and my list talking to my friends all over America.
Right on, man. So you're in San Diego.
Yeah, I'm in San Diego tonight under an excessive heat watch.
Is it really hot there?
Well, it is. It is for San Diego weather. Yeah, I mean we've been about almost 90 today, which is unheard of, you know.
Right. Yeah, San Diego's like the world's most perfect weather usually.
It is. It's gorgeous. That's
yeah.
why I moved here some years ago to escape the excessive heat from Phoenix, where my main residencies and the offices and everything are. I'm an old metalhead and I can't cope with that intense heat now, you know.
Oh, yeah.
It seems to have followed me this year.
Right.
You know. But anyway, it probably fits in with the day's events, which has been talking about new hot metal, which, as you know, the new release comes out tomorrow. So it all segues together.
You are a true professional. See how you did that?
Yes, well, you know.
That was amazing.
Years, got 40 years worth of it in my brain.
Right. Halford 4 Made of Metal. It's out tomorrow, the new single Undisputed. I've been playing it on the show. People are digging it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, people are really liking it, man.
Beautiful. It was a real pleasure to make. Of course, it was a bit of a surprise because I hadn't really intended this to happen. The fact was that with Priest being on hiatus, as we call it, which was welcome because we'd been going out for pretty solidly for the last several years.
Yeah.
And I can't sit still. I've always got to keep busy. I've always got to be doing something. So I said, well, I'm going to take the Halford band back out and do a few dates. And of course, that was really well received. And then of course, Ozzy and Sharon wanted me to do the Ozfest, which was also a real surprise. And I felt, well, you know, whenever I go out, I like to play new stuff and new material. So with that in mind, I just went straight into writing mode, and now we have a brand new Halford record to enjoy.
That's pretty exciting. That's cool that it just kind of happened, kind of not planned. That kind of makes it cooler.
Well, I think so too. You know, Darby. I mean, you know, as it is with our world in music, you kind of plan out the calendar, don't you, of the series of events you're trying to do.
Sure.
And this was just like a real kind of a curveball. I thought, man, I want to give my fans something fresh. So I went into lockdown mode for 2 or 3 weeks and kind of put the blueprint, if you want to call it that, of the record together, and gave Roy Z, my producer, who's also in the Halford band, gave him a call. So come down from LA, let's go into this little studio we rent, and we put down the demos, and then right after that we went into full production with the rest of the guys, with Metal Mike, Bobby and Mike D. So it came together really quickly, and like you said, you know, there's something pure about that when you don't have to really kind of think it through too much.
Exactly.
You know, you can kill music if you're not too careful, if you kind of overproduce it or you know, it turns into a labour-intense effort. I think if it just comes from the heart and it's very immediate, non-cluttered, it's just got a real good vibe about it. And so far the feedback's been great, you know, and I'm excited to now be able to share it with all the metalheads around the planet.
I'm on the phone with Rob Halford, the Metal God. The new record, Halford 4 Made of Metal, is coming out tomorrow. The new song, Undisputed. You're hearing it here. People are digging it. So I'm wondering, people listen to your music to get pumped, or because maybe they're pissed and they need to get some aggression out.
Yeah, they do.
So who do you listen to when you're pissed or when you want to get pumped up? Do you just put on your own music?
Well, I know it does that job because I have friends working, if you want to call it that, they call it work, in Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
These wonderful, brave men and women. And they pump out the Priest or the Halford or the Slayer or the Pantera or the Lamb of God, you know,
right.
and that's what we do with our music, isn't it? It's motivational. So, yeah, I mean, some of those bands that I've mentioned are on my to-do list if I have to kind of get psyched up. But I keep that in me all the time, you know. I never really falls asleep. I'm always ready to bring on the metal.
Right. Well, of course you are. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's the life that the fans have given me. I mean, it's just been an an amazing almost 4 decades of what I love to do, and I'm blessed because I have the best fans in the world that keep supporting me and let me make this metal for everybody.
Well, and what's interesting is you're not slowing down. I mean, a lot of times you look at a band's career and you look at their early stuff, and that's the heaviest stuff. And then as time goes on, they get maybe a little less heavy. But I was thinking about, like, you think of something like Living After Midnight, and then you go to Painkiller, which is like, what? That's way heavier than Living After Midnight. And it's the same band. You look at the Halford stuff, and it's like, you're getting heavier as time goes on.
It's like, everything I was, Spinal Tap only went to 11, we went to 12.
Right.
So it's that world, I mean, you're driven by what you do, and sometimes the music is extra fierce, and sometimes it may be in top gear, but but anyway, that's the joy of making metal music. You can take it in many different directions, and I think that's what Halford 4 is about. Some metal, like some of the bands I've mentioned, are very extreme and intense and so forth. This record it's definitely a metal record, but it has more of a kind of a classic vintage metal vibe about it as far as the song compositions. Undisputed is a pretty good atmosphere that kind of gives you an idea of what else is on there, even though they are 14 very distinctive tracks,
Yeah, I can't wait. I haven't heard the whole thing yet, so...
Thank you. Well, I'm, as far as, checking it out, it's a fun record, and I say that people might go, fun? Well, it is, yeah. It's like a really good feeling, this record. It does pump you up. It's very elevated, and some good, strong messages, and so all I've got to do now is hope that people get into it and help me pay some bills, baby.
right, that's right.
I've got this little independent record label called Metal God Records.
Yeah.
We're an indie label. We only started recently, so I pour all of the cash back into that and the Metal God Apparel, the clothing company as well. It's all recycled dosh, as we say, for the great cause of metal, and so I'm keeping my fingers crossed that all of my fans will be supporting the Metal God and getting into the music, especially up from around the Great Salt Lake City area.
Yeah, this is a good metal town here in Salt Lake City.
I can remember Priest actually kicked off rehearsals from. I don't remember exactly what tour it was. I'm sure one of your listeners will call in and give you the year. But we spent like a couple of weeks in Salt Lake at a venue. I don't know if it's still there. I want to say it was like something arena or convention center. I don't know where it is. Downtown. Yeah, there was
the Salt Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't there. It was maybe there was something that was attached to the Salt Palace. But anyway, I do know we were there.
Okay.
And of course the fans are just off the rockers, as we say in the UK. The Salt Lake City fans love their metal and hard rock.
That's true. That's true.
At some point, I'd look forward to coming back and playing you some of the Halford stuff when time permits. Right.
Well, you're going on tour with Ozzy.
Yeah, I'm going back out with Oz. I had a really nice set of Ozfest dates. It was only about 6 or 8 this year, I think, and then Ozzy wanted to go on do his first arena tour in the longest time, and popped round to the dressing room, him and Sharon, and do you fancy coming out and doing some arena dates? I'm like, absolutely. Who would say no? You don't say no to Sharon.
Right.
She's wonderful. I love her to death. She's just the most fantastic person with everything that she does in the entertainment industry. But there was an opportunity for the band to go out and do some work with Oz and do this arena tour together in November and December.
Well, man, that's some bang for your buck to have you and Ozzy on the same bill. That's
it's funny because I've seen it floating around on the internet. They're billing it as the Prince of Darkness and the Metal God.
Right.
Which sounds really crazy.
Right. Yeah, that is not a bad setup.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's going to be a great time. And of course, Ozzy's on the top of his game with his brand new record Scream, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's really great. It really is.
Sounds incredible. He looks fantastic. He's got this great band, so he's roaring, and I think he's in Israel as we speak, doing his first show over there in for as long as I can remember. So Ozzy's really having the best of times right now.
Well, Rob, it's always cool to talk to you, man. I really appreciate it. I think, obviously you've been doing this for a long time. You're a legend, but I've talked to people who have achieved way less than you have doing interviews, and they come off a lot really self-important, and you never do. And so I always appreciate that about you, man. So
Well, I keep it real. I mean, that's what we're about in the metal community. You know, I think we're all coming from the same place, or at least we should be, in my mind. And you know, none of us are after the only blue M&Ms, and none of us are after the 65-degree limo.
Right.
I can't remember the last time I went in a limo. I drive myself everywhere like Chuck Berry still does. So. Yeah, keep it real. That's the best way to go about it.
So if you're in traffic in San Diego and some dude that looks like Rob Halford cuts in front of you and gives you the finger, it is Rob Halford.
That's me in my old Cadillac.
That's awesome. Well, Halford 4 Made of Metal comes out on Tuesday. Undisputed is the new song. If you don't make it here on the Ozzy Tour, hopefully you'll do some headlining Halford tours and make it through Salt Lake City.
Come back. Yes, you guys are really important to me, and I thank you for all your support. I really do. And I wish you all the best for what's left of this metal year, and I hope I'll see you next year.
Right on. Thanks a lot, Rob. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Thanks, Darby.
Thanks.
Cheers. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Darby 94.9 0.